I'm Pern.
And I'm Dave.
Welcome to the show, where we talk about everything from movies, music, sports, and TV.
And stories from the rest of our lives.
Things we don't talk about are politics and religion.
And this is how we all stay friends.
Okay, let's talk. Season 2 is off to a great start.
I'm so sorry about that.
We had a little just scheduling conflict last week and weren't able to get to recording.
It was tough.
So we are so sorry
We
that
had
if we
a
have
full
let
week, though.
anyone
That was
down.
a full week.
We did have a very busy week, and we did things together too in the week, which we'll get to later.
Exactly.
But it just came down to the finding literally the time to be able to fit it all in and to record and to do all this stuff. I had a really rough week last week, and my grandmother passed Sunday a week ago.
Sorry about that.
And thank you. And was my last grandparent that was living.
Right.
So she was the last one that passed away. And my father, who had a stroke, 7 years ago, I guess, almost 8 years ago, he now lives with us. So we take care of my dad, and this was his mother.
Right.
And since his stroke, he's not all there. I mean, you can have little conversations with him, but there's times where he doesn't quite grasp and comprehend what's going on and talking when you're talking to him. And then times that he does. And, so I had to sit down basically and have the talk with my father and tell him that his mother passed away.
Hard week.
Which that for me was such a devastating thing to have to do. I mean, yes, I've lost my grandmother and my last remaining grandparent, but now I have to sit down and tell my father that his mom has passed away. And it was just, that's seriously heartbreaking.
It's mentally draining, I can tell.
Oh my gosh. So that was on Sunday, and then Monday I told him, and then Tuesday Dave and I went out to a hocky game, and I literally was just like, I'm in a fog. I didn't even want to go.
We had other people coming with us.
We had friends coming with us. So I was just like, let's go. Let's get me out of the house. And we'll get to that more later. So.
Right.
So it was a rough week, and then the California fires were also last week, and I do want to quickly just say disclaimer: like the last episode we did record, there was a comment near the end of the episode.
That was a week before.
It was a week before the fires happened.
It was a bad timing scenario.
It was terrible.
I don't think you said anything disparaging about California.
Okay.
We were just joking around.
I was quoting Die Hard.
Yeah.
And the scene when Bruce Willis gets off the plane in L.A. and he's like, fucking California.
Right.
And that's what my quote was for. And the reference was to Die Hard and his line of that. And then the fucking fires break out in L.A. Now, Our thoughts are with everyone and love to everyone in LA, and I've got friends in LA and that luckily are all okay, and they didn't lose homes, but they are definitely affected by it.
Right.
So again,
still a thing, right?
Our hearts and thoughts go out to everyone in California. So I just wanted to disclaimer on that last one because we recorded that before the fires happened, and it was just a quote from Die Hard, people. That's it.
Yes,
don't cancel me or cancel me. I don't give a shit at this point. I'm so numb from everything right now.
So
I'm
crazy.
It
was a harsh.
So that was not a shot at California. It was just me quoting Die Hard.
Right.
So I do want to apologize if anyone was offended, but it was just a joke. And like I said, we recorded that before the fires thing happened. So, but and a lot has happened in the LA stuff. Like, they moved the one playoff football game to Arizona.
Yes.
And the Rams won. Which is, again, this is like stuff we got to get into football later.
I know. So it all piled on.
But props to Arizona Cardinals for turning that stadium into looking like a home game for the LA Rams.
Exactly.
That was amazing. I looked at that. I'm like, you would never know that was a Cardinal stadium except for what SoFi Stadium looks like, and that's not it.
Right.
That was the only difference.
Yeah, that was it.
But Arizona did an amazing job.
I didn't see any Arizona logos or anything that kind of would trigger it.
It was all LA
all
Rams.
The signage was covered.
Looked like an LA Rams home
was
game.
LA.
It was that props to the NFL
impressive.
and yes, for doing that for the LA Rams and their fans and getting that able to happen.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so did you hear that Costco, the workers, maybe union, might be going on strike?
Oh, no.
Yes. If they don't strike a new deal, Costco's workers with the union with Costco
right.
by January 31st.
Oh, no.
On February 1st, The workers say they're not coming to work.
They're just going to strike completely.
And Costco, so I'm going to Costco next week to get my Costco stuff. And
yeah, me too. That's my Monday.
Dave brought in like little mini pizzas that he gets at Costco, and we have them after we record.
Loaded up.
He brought in 2 boxes, and I didn't say it, but I almost said, "Oh, getting ready for the strike." Huh?
I didn't even know.
He didn't even know. So because those pizzas will last us for the next 2 months. But
oh gosh, yes.
It was just So Costco employees might be going on strike. Oh my
goodness! I hope they figure it out.
Me too. I love Costco. I love it so much. And their employees, seriously, it's always a madhouse, especially around the holidays.
I know.
They deal with so much shit. Give those people a raise or whatever they're asking for because they deserve it.
Yes,
I mean,
the hard workers,
absolutely.
Every time we've gone, it's been that kind of.
There's always them. They're going around the store. I've never seen any Costco worker not doing something,
exactly,
like leaning up against a wall or taking a break or what. I mean, they're always doing
this or
shit,
shipping this or boxing that or
giving us free samples. And they cook the little free samples and give you the free samples. Come on,
that's tough.
Give the Costco workers what they need.
Right,
absolutely.
That's fine.
Okay, so what was happening at your house this week?
Okay, so it has been. So we're out of the holidays.
Yes.
And we're finally out of party season. So we are dismantling Christmas. And it has been chaos because it's in stages. So again, we have a lot of decorations, and I did some write-ups on everything that we have organized and gotten down. And we're probably at about 20% down.
Wow.
Now.
Only
20%. And it has been staged. Now, everything outside is down. So the house looks normal.
Yeah, I was over
the outside.
The other night. Yeah.
You can't really see much, but the outside, and this is including the HOA front entrance because we decorate that too. We're window wreaths, portico garlands, the garage wreath, and the portico window wreath. So that's just the small stuff that we do outside.
Do you do the fence line with all the Santa hats?
No, we didn't do that. That was a different house.
Yeah, my daughter
Doesn't that look a little bizarre though?
My daughter saw that. It looks like Santa's head's on a spike.
On pikes,
like,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
like someone killed a bunch of Santas and Santa heads or something. It was kind of creepy.
Did right?
Little creepy.
That's how we joke about that one too. And I know it's decorations, but it's just a little.
It looks a little weird. Okay. Anyway,
creepy.
So you're 20% down.
Right. So we've taken down basically the kitchen area, and that's the family ornament tree, which has all the handmade stuff that we have on it and things we've collected. The arch, which goes into the main,
the great arch
living area, right, and the a couple of garlands, the wreath, the garlands that are on the back staircase, and the garland that's over the back door and the kitchen. The new kitchen one. So that's all down. And the chandeliers in the breakfast area, we have a couple of hanging lights there. Those have all been dismantled, basically. No more decorations. So that's 20%.
So is the goal to have everything down by Valentine's
Super Bowl.
or by Super Bowl?
Oh, yes.
Which is right the weekend before Valentine's.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say Groundhog's Day, but I was going to give you a buffer there.
One. Yeah. Oh, yeah. yeah. We're trying to do it before the Super Bowl, so we can actually enjoy
February
the Super Bowl. But so we still have a handful of stuff. There's probably about there's that lip smack, 4 or 5 trees, and we got. So, but again, nothing out of the ordinary for us because it's all done in stages, and we just bring up the specific boxes that gets taken down. Those boxes go downstairs. So we have the storage
system. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got it all in place. It's just timing. Like we've had so many issues with dogs lately.
Oh my gosh. The dogs.
Oh, Jesus God.
Tell the people about your dogs.
I decide that this last week, we, of course, our busy week, Thursday, I decided, hey, why don't we add something else to that and go to putting league? So Chase and I ran off to putting league, and Lisa drops us off and then goes over to the barn.
Disc golf, people. Disc
golf.
Sorry. It's inside for the winter. They do a putting league inside.
One of the bars, Vanish. So, hosts us.
That's what putting league
is.
And
we do putting league, and we basically put 2 baskets across from each other, set up a bunch of different rows of those, and we just pair off into teams.
See who does the best.
And it's a best of 1, basically. And you go into a winner's bracket, loser's bracket based on you.
You were already in the loser's bracket by the time this all happened, right?
Yeah. So I'd already lost my game, and then I sat down. 5 minutes after that, Lisa's at the door. She's coming in and she's like, we got to go. Lyndon.
She actually came to the putting league.
Yeah. Well, she dropped us off.
I thought okay. Because I thought. Okay.
And she was at the barn. So she was right there.
I got you.
And then, because it's out in Luckett's. So we got to drive all the way out past Leesburg into Luckett's. That's where her horse is.
Okay.
But the good thing is the putting league's like right there at the bar. Vantage.
I gotcha.
So, she drops us off. Then she goes, does the horse, comes back, picks us up, because more than likely either I've lost or Chase has won. And then we can go and take his winnings and blow it on shakes or something. So anyway, we get everything done. I'm sorry, I lost. And so I was sitting down waiting for my losers bracket game. Chase had won already and he had just started a new game. And then Lisa walks in. She goes, we gotta go. And I'm like, what is it? What just happened? Lyndon decides that
your dog,
right? The big Great Dane,
the new dog you got,
the new one, who of course I don't know what his problem is, but he eats everything. Was licking peanut butter off of a spatula and licked the entire
held by your mother-in-law.
Yeah, she was holding it and was giving him a treat. Yes, right, licks the spatula part off of the handle and ate it.
Yeah, the big plastic
end
part.
Whole thing, swallowed it whole.
Oh my God!
Because he doesn't know how to do spoons. Like when I'm mixing up the food, I have him lick the spoon off and then I put it in the sink. So he doesn't know how to lick it. He just chomps on it. And I'm like, okay, you lick. So we're trying to teach him
and
the licking part.
He just sucked down the whole end of the spatula. The big wide.
He took it in one lick and then took the whole spatula into and swallowed it. Now, we're talking about it's a long one. It was about I don't know, quarter of an inch wide, but it was also 4 inches long because it was to reach into jars and things. She was scraping out the bottom of the jar with the spatula, and so he took the whole thing, swallowed it whole.
Can I ask a quick question, sidebar?
Mm-hmm.
So do the dogs have their own jars of peanut butter, or do you guys have your peanut butter out of those jars too? Please tell me the dogs have their own peanut butter.
They don't have their own, but we don't they don't start licking.
Until you're at the end, at the bottom of it. Okay, I got you.
So they get that.
It's not like
part.
mid-jar. You're like, here's a scoop of peanut butter for
Even
the dogs.
if it was, you could take a scoop out with an actual spoon that has not been licked by a dog and let the dogs lick
there's
it.
no, doggy
There's no double dipping here.
No doggy double dipping.
Yeah, there's no dog double dipping.
Okay,
so
that's
having
what
a
I wanted to
separate jar
clarify.
isn't necessary. We really don't unless it happens when I'm not there. So anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. So then we, of course, have to meet them on the way in Leesburg to the emergency dog shelter, who are the emergency vets who need to take him in, figure out what the hell's going on. The only thing we could think of was that they were going to induce vomiting, which they did. Mm-hmm. He brought it back up. It took 2 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And you know what? Can you guess how much 2 seconds at a vet costs?
$580.
$620.
I was close.
You were close. You were within
the emergency vet? Oh, my God.
The emergency vet, right. So, so that was a fun bill.
Oh,
so now we're like, oh, Jesus Christ. So we really got to watch him, right? So not 2 days later, on Saturday or Sunday, Saturday, dumbass decided to eat a
Clarify
duster.
Dumbass.
Lyndon.
There you go. Thank you. Okay.
He was going to take a duster, a Swiffer duster. You know, they have them on the little handle. He took it off, ate the whole thing.
The floofy part
just
that picks up the dust.
And we're like, what the F? Now we got to spend another $620 to go get this thing done. We find out that we have a friend, and she said to induce vomiting, you can give them a teaspoon or tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide per 5 pounds of dog.
Oh, I think I've heard that before.
And we were like,
actually,
okay. So let's do that. So we got us a little.
So this dog's huge. So they had like a gallon jug of hydrogen peroxide.
We were just chugging it in there.
Like a water cooler.
It was it was one of those beer funnels.
Okay,
we
beer
had
bong.
Right into
it.
Right.
Had the beer bong.
Right into it. So it was 5.
Peroxide.
It was 5 tablespoons. We figured that would probably be enough. We shot it into his mouth. He drank it. We took him outside. He walked around, went to the bathroom, and then kind of went bleh, bleh, bleh,
threw it up.
And all came up. Nice. Now, it all came up. So everything that he had and the duster,
including the peanut butter from 4 days ago.
Yes, all of it, and half a spatula. No,
the other half of the spatula.
The other half. No, so it was just the duster and a little bit of food, and we were just like, Jesus, good Lord! So, but now we can save ourselves $620 because we know dumbass is going to swallow something because 2 months before that he threw up an entire chew toy, like It was a long one. It was
and
like
when you
a
guys first
dragon
got him, he ate like a whole loaf of bread, right?
Yes, and part of the plastic and everything. Now that he just digested, it wasn't a big deal.
Oh my gosh!
But the toy he had thrown up in the yard, and we didn't find it until he'd thrown it up in the yard. We didn't know it was gone because it was just a dog toy.
So Dave, how does it feel to now be the second to last smartest thing in your house?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I had to throw that up.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There it is. So. But again, and then Nala's having issues. The reason why Friday didn't become our recording session was there was an issue where she was just losing it. She lost it all over the rugs and entire dining room.
And then we had clean rugs. And
we were cleaning. We were doing everything. I didn't get done until like 11 or 12 o'clock at night. So it kind of got pushed. So
yeah, it's all good.
And then Fillmore, of course, was having his own issues. So it was a week and a half of just dog
Seriously,
issues.
Your house, my house, there was like so much going on between.
Good Lord.
How did we make it through the week?
Because it wasn't just Tuesday that we decided to go to a game. We decided, let's load up on Saturday
right.
and do a game.
We had tickets to the Caps game on Tuesday night against Anaheim, and then had tickets to the Saturday night game against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Right. And we decided to do that.
So that was all bookend.
Everything was closing down for the inauguration.
Oh my gosh! Oh, and the inauguration stuff.
Right. So we were trying to get in and out of town with everything closed up, but that was just the event because everything, all the streets and everything were closed.
It was like
getting in and out was a pain in the ass, and that was just on Tuesday. So Saturday was no better.
And then when we're leaving the city on Saturday night after the game, like there's police at the exits, and you couldn't go in on 66 into the city.
Yeah, everything.
And they
was
had them at
back.
overpasses, and they had like police everywhere. Like you can't get into the city.
Done. If you weren't already in the city, you're not getting back.
You're not
into
going
the
back.
city.
It was like
that
Escape
was
from New York or something. I don't know.
There was some serious security. So we get that, but it was
crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It was a tough week.
It was. And one of the conversations that we had on Tuesday night when we went to the Caps game, when we went with our friends Tristan and Dave's son-in-law Chase, who's been on the show before.
Yep, he loved it. He had a great time.
Had fun. And I had recorded a video. It may have been on, I don't know, it was like a couple days before that, maybe even like Friday or Saturday of the previous week.
Right.
And it's me doing an ice plunge. It was like so cold out. I can't even.
It was cold.
We hadn't had temperatures that were above freezing for over 6 days, I think it was.
Yes.
So my ice pod was down to like 33, 34 degrees.
Yeah, it was conditioned to be cold.
Cold. There was literally ice formed in it. So I took a video and I did it. I'm like, I'm doing an ice plunge. I've always wanted to go this cold because I usually around 40 degrees was, the point.
To be safe.
And I've even done like 38, but like down to 34, I'm like, oh wow, it's so cold. And my wife makes the comment before I go out. She goes, oh yeah, you should do like the whole like National Lampoon's Vacation, like when Clark Griswold jumps in the pool naked and Christy Brinkley's in the pool and he's like, oh yeah, it's cold.
Screaming.
Oh my God.
He wakes up the whole
yeah, exactly. Ray wakes up the whole motel, if I can speak. Wakes up the whole motel. Anyway, and that would be really funny. I go outside with my camera or my phone, and I had my wife then come out, and I had actually rewatched the National Lampoon scene from the movie, getting into the character, and then I did my ice plunge. And as soon as I got in, I was like, "Holy freaking blood, it's cold!" And I'm screaming. And my wife's holding my phone, filming this, and she's like, the neighbors are going to come out of the house, think something. What? Oh my God, I didn't know you were going to scream like that. I'm like, I was doing the part. I was doing the part.
She was killing you in the backyard.
Yeah. And so I actually edited all the video together and I made like a little reel. So I sent it to my wife and to Dave and to our friend Tristan. Yeah. And my wife immediately, she replies back with the laughy, oh my God, that's so funny. Dave and Tristan reply next, and their reply is, were you wearing underwear? Could we see your junk? Were you wearing something?
Like
were you totally naked? I'm like,
we didn't see you go.
And I'm like, that's
pants.
What you were looking for. You were looking to see if I was wearing underwear in my ice plunge video. That's supposed to be funny because it's so freaking cold, and it's supposed to be something and like they're like, did we see something? I'm like, no, I was wearing black shorts when I got because I didn't. Yeah.
Okay. So it was it wasn't that we were like consciously looking?
Yes, you were. It's obvious. That was the first
when
reply.
you jumped in. We didn't see you go into the water. So the first thing we thought of was, well, they cut that because he went in naked. We had no clue.
Gosh. Okay, I'm going to put that up on Instagram.
Okay,
I'm going to put it up on our reels on Instagram.
We survey
on our Pern and Dave.
Please comment
at
whether
Pern and Dave
or not
on Instagram. I'm putting the video up when we post. So the same day we post this show, so you can go to Instagram and you can see the reel. And I'm like, it was funny for this one reason, and their biggest thing was like, were you wearing underwear?
I'm just
like, why were you looking there?
I was
why
just
were
thinking.
you focusing on that?
I always saw the whole thing, and we knew.
Yes,
that
I was wearing black shorts.
Okay. Good.
Oh my gosh, perverts! Jesus,
that's the first thing.
Glad my two buddies are looking out for me.
We were looking
out for me. Yeah, they were. I was like, seriously.
We wanted to make sure, that was all.
Oh my gosh, I
before you released it to the public, we needed.
I'm trying to make a funny fucking video, and all these guys care about us if they're seeing my junk or not. And I'm just like, oh my gosh,
it was a thing.
I don't
protecting
know
your sensibilities.
And I'm going to keep taking you guys to hockey games when I get free tickets.
Is this our first strike?
That's your first strike. That one's it. Oh my gosh. Okay, Dave comes in tonight with our little mini pizzas from Costco in a separate bag, and he goes, I've got a surprise.
A secret
taste test.
I have been in the kitchen. And I have been making.
You made this.
These are homemade treats that I made. Now, I don't know if I told you about this, but I tried making caramel.
No.
I tried making soft caramel. And what happened was you put it on the, so when you make the caramel, all the ingredients go on the stove.
Not like the Werther's. That's the hard caramel. You're talking about like the Kraft little cubes of soft caramel?
Yeah.
Got it.
But there's a certain temperature you have to get it to and have it
without burning it.
Without going over, because once you go over, you get Werther's, right?
You've scorched it and you burnt the caramel.
Yeah, but even if you keep it at a certain temperature and it gets to that higher temperature, it becomes hard, not soft. And I wanted the chewy caramel. I wanted the chewy ones because I was trying to make the chewy squares like you were talking about.
Yep.
So that's called soft ball stage of candy. So I was making soft balls, and
Dave was playing with his soft balls in the kitchen.
What happened was that I hit the lower end of the spectrum of that at 2 something. I don't know what the temperature was. But when I tried making it all set up, none of it set up. It got caramelized, but it never got to the point where I could like wrap it and then it would stay together. It would all kind of just kind of meld. So then I got it in my head that, well, I had all of this non-hard caramel, basically.
So what'd you make with it?
Caramel popcorn.
Oh, I love me some popcorn.
That's yours.
I love caramel popcorn.
That one's yours.
Oh my
now,
gosh.
Some of the because it wasn't
for Pern, no eat.
No eat. I wanted to make sure it didn't get eaten because
Pern,
it's been 2 days that I've been sitting on this. I made it on Sunday, but I had the caramel and I was like, well, what the frick am I going to use this for? I made the caramel. So you got to give it a try. Some of them might be a little chewy because of the caramel didn't set up again because you have to cook it again onto the popcorn.
Oh my God, Dave, I love this.
Is it good?
I love it because it's not like normal caramel popcorn.
Right?
It's got like the caramel in it.
Yeah, because that's the soft part of it that didn't actually set up completely. But you're going to find some that are actually crunchy, just like out of the box Cracker Jack kind of. Yeah, there's stuff in there. Oh, it's going to take you a while too, because
you're going to have to keep talking.
It's a little bit
chewy,
right,
and I love it. Oh my God, I can't try anymore right now because
I know because it'll just be silence.
Oh my God, I cannot wait to get back to that.
That is pretty good, right? Yeah. So save some for the kids because I got to know.
They're never finding out.
But I'll make more. Until it's already gone. It's gone. I don't know what happened to it. So that's number one. Okay.
That was the first.
Then number two, I was going to make a special treat out of Oreos when over the holidays, and I was going to bring some for you guys, and they were going to be. Remember, we saw the reindeers with the little. In the pretzel ear or pretzel antlers.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? We saw that little makeup. I was going to make that because we mentioned
it. It's called a reel, Dave. It's called a reel. I just lip smacked. It's called a reel.
We've got caramel on the mouth.
I do.
Got caramel
my mouth is stuck together right now.
It is pretty. It is some stuff, isn't it? Yeah, so I was going to make that.
The little reindeers with the pretzel.
Yes, and I was going to dip them in chocolate, put little freaky eyeballs on them, get the whole thing, right? And I had the pretzels. I had everything set. It did not materialize. I had the Oreos.
Ran out of time, just not
And the
enough.
Oreos were just sitting in the back, and I'm like, I got to do something with those things. Then online, I saw Oreo truffles.
Oh,
So these are
I've
basically
actually seen the video for the. I've seen the reel on this too.
chocolate-covered Oreo truffles.
Okay, so I'm going to try one of these.
And these are all for you guys.
Oh, that whole thing? Is mine.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
thank
you can just take that.
You brought me a whole little bag
because I have a whole bunch of them at home too. I made them as
Little
small as I
chocolate
could
balls.
because usually when I make stuff that I put chocolate on, because I a long time ago made these cake pop bees, and when I did the chocolate just caked over them and was so like thick and crazy. They were so hard to eat because they were so sweet because there was so much chocolate caked onto the cake pop itself. I actually watered this down a little bit. You may taste the coconut in it.
Do you have to keep them refrigerated?
No, you do not.
Okay. I just want to say good night, everybody. I'm done. I've got plenty of snacks.
Snacks. Yes.
That little Oreo chocolate truffle ball thing.
Yes.
Oh my God. So freaking good.
Oh, there we go.
I'm literally ready to stop recording right now and be like, we're done. Like, good night. Good night, everybody.
We got something for the game later. So that's good.
Next week. Coming up next week's show.
Yes. If we weren't wired before, now we're going to be completely wired. Because, I tried one on the way in, but I made those in the last hour before I left to come here.
These are like fresh.
Because I said I was going to make them.
Wow.
Those are so fresh. Yes. Those are right out of the fridge.
Those are so good.
They worked out very well. I was very surprised. It was so easy.
But I don't need to refrigerate them for the kids tomorrow. What am I talking about? They're not going to last till the kids see them tomorrow.
No,
that will. I won't eat.
Basically, that was 18
That's
Oreos.
A lot of chocolate balls in that bag. I can't eat all those in one night.
There's at least 8 or 10 in there, right? You will not get that many balls down
in my mouth in one night.
Not at all. No. Basically, 18 Oreos into a processor, ground down to nothing, 4 ounces of cream cheese, and then all mixed together, put in the balls into the freezer, then coated with chocolate, put back in the freezer, and they all set up. That took 25 to 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was easier than I thought. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make it. And I started at like 6 and I was like, I'm not going to make it. I wanted to get this because I was adding it to the caramel popcorn I already had. And I was like, I gotta have something else.
I have to confess, I've never wanted balls in my mouth so hard right now.
So hard balls. These aren't the soft ones. These are actually, And I was worried the chocolate wasn't going to set up, but it did. And I didn't think it was going to make, I thought I was going to pull that thing out and it was just going to be one giant Oreo altogether because all the chocolate would have all, but it did. The chocolate did set up, and
I
was surprised.
They're sitting here staring at me, and I gotta stop looking at them.
Yeah, you gotta save some for later.
Those are so good.
Oh, cool. Well, then
I am the fat kid who loves cake. So I mean,
right.
You
so the cake pops.
You bring stuff into.
I can do a whole various.
I can't even.
I can do a whole bunch of those.
I can't.
Well, I'll only bring you a couple. I won't bring you 30 of them. I'll just bring you a baggie like I did.
Don't hold out on me.
No, but I mean, I got the other. I got the house.
You don't know which way to go.
Look, if I didn't, well, there we go. So I'm telling you right now, though, it did have a. It was easier than I thought it was going to be. The recipe was pretty
Sunday
quick.
morning.
Yeah, and the caramel too. So the caramel too.
Okay.
No, I didn't get that. What did you say?
I said it's easier than Sunday morning.
Oh, I did. Now I got it.
Easy like Sunday morning. You just now got that.
I did just now. Well, I didn't hear the whole thing because I was mouthing off too. So,
my gosh. Okay, Dave, shut up. Now we're getting serious with entertainment news.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
In entertainment news, I'll start with the fun one first since we've got the music because I'm not going to start with the other.
Right. That's perfect. That's probably good.
Abbott Elementary on ABC. Do you watch Abbott Elementary?
I do not.
It's like The Office, but in a elementary school.
Okay.
And
I am familiar with
South
it.
Philadelphia.
I haven't watched it.
It is very funny. It's been on for now 4 seasons. It got renewed today for its 5th season.
That's
back
good.
to ABC.
Congratulations.
This is the only show that I've watched on ABC in maybe 6 or 7 years.
Live or
no, just an ABC show. Because I think the quality of ABC shows, it's just so
canned.
It's too cheesy and too it doesn't have the quality of like CBS and NBC shows. And I don't know why ABC, to me, it's very, maybe it's the whole like Disney family friendly. That's what they're going for, playing it safe kind of. I don't know. ABC shows never. But anyway, Abbott Elementary got renewed for season 5. which is awesome.
Good.
And yeah, so that was the good fun news. The sad news.
Uh-oh.
One of my favorite film directors passed away.
Oh, I did see
just
this.
like 2 days ago, and which is David Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been a David Lynch fan since, oh my gosh, before. I mean, I knew of him because of Eraserhead and you know, Blue Velvet and all those, but when Twin Peaks came out,
yeah, that's the one that I remember
totally
him being attached to. The other ones you totally lost me on. Although I do know about Blue Velvet, I didn't know it was
Dune.
him.
He directed the original
the
Dune
original
from 1980.
Dune.
Yeah, the one with Kyle MacLachlan. And
yes,
yeah, that was David Lynch.
Does he have a hard on for Kyle MacLachlan?
So Kyle MacLachlan,
everything he does.
Kyle MacLachlan, very sweet post on his Instagram, and he goes, I don't know why David Lynch ever picked me from obscurity like that out of all those people, and it became like the lifelong friendship and working relationship in films and shows. And because, you know, he was in Dune and he goes on to do Twin Peaks, which is my all-time favorite television show ever. Well, it was only a season and a half.
Right. Well, it didn't stop. It didn't ruin anything by picking him because he played the characters well.
With David Lynch?
Within the storyline.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
with Kyle. But yeah, but
Kyle
David Lynch went
yes.
with that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of interesting that he said that, because I don't know if I could think of someone who could play that kind of role now.
Well, and he's
thinking about
he went on to say that he, you know, credits David Lynch with, you know, creating Agent Dale Cooper for Twin Peaks and creating, you know, some of these roles
character itself,
like, and showing him and bringing that character out of him, saying, okay, try it this way. But it was still Kyle MacLachlan doing it. And it was like only the way he could do it. And David saw something in him.
Some of those characters are like that, where you only see someone doing that character. Like we only
Richard
can
Dreyfuss.
see.
You only see Richard Dreyfuss always doing Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh my
just
gosh.
in a different situation.
Exactly. Right. And then, but they play a character, a specific type of character. And that character, couldn't see someone else playing. When they go back and say, oh, well, that role could have gone to such and such. And you're like, I don't think I could see it now.
Yeah,
way.
like with someone in that sense.
Would it be that, insane?
There's been just a flood on Instagram of like tributes from celebrities who worked with David Lynch to, people that were just fans of his. And, it was, I've been a big fan of his since Twin Peaks, which was 90, 91, I think. It was, and it's been a long time ago.
Yes.
And I've, every David Lynch project that comes out since, I have actually a book. It's David Lynch Images, I think it's what it's called.
Really?
And it's just photographs of things that he, had done and stuff like that. And one of them was a build your own chicken kit.
Oh.
And it was literally a completely dismembered chicken in its pieces laying out on this piece of poster board. And it was how to build your own chicken kit. Oh. That's just how weird and twisted David Lynch was. Huh. Like that was, but I saw that, and you see, just the things like that.
Interesting.
The one quote that his family did post, which, David would say is always focus on the donut, not the hole.
Oh, I heard that.
And it's which that just sums, him up so well, because it's like, you got to think about the bigger picture, the bigger thing. Just don't worry that there's a little hole in it, and don't don't sweat the small stuff. Don't and appreciate. Yes, it just I don't have to explain metaphors. I guess maybe I do. Apparently, I do.
Who knows? It happens.
So I had a rough week. I told you, my grandmother passed away. The whole thing of that, and then one of my favorite directors passes away. I've been a mess all week, just like in this haze cloud of just what the hell's going to happen next.
Yes. Well, who knows? Maybe.
And then Dave tells me his dog eats a spatula. I'm like, oh my God.
His dog, emergency room. Well, we were thinking surgery, but who knows? I was like,
I don't know. It's been such a bizarre.
It is a little weird.
Bizarre week.
Well, the games didn't help out because Tuesday.
The games helped out. Oh, well, not with our schedule. The games didn't help out with the schedule, but the games did help out that they won both of them.
That was amazing.
Which was awesome. So Tuesday night, we got tickets to the game.
Right. And we headed out to the game, and we had to drive, of course. And were we in the ice box?
Ice box.
We didn't take the cold car. We took the other one.
Oh, no. We brought my wife's car, which has heat, because my van still has no heat. And with like last night I was driving home and it was -1 out.
Yeah.
And
so
I'm just like,
but
but I was in my wife's car last night too. But I was like, that I'm not in my van because I have no heat.
Right. And I don't think Chase had been to a game in a long time. So,
right. So Chase,
going to a game,
son-in-law,
he came
with us.
He had a great experience.
And our friend Tristan.
Loaded him up with food. We were screaming and yelling.
How old's Chase? Like 26?
Yeah, about
you still treat him like he's a 13-year-old.
Oh, I know it kind of is. I kind
him up on food. We got him his soda.
We got him to the bathroom. He was fine. He didn't have any accidents.
Beforehand.
He was good. He was very well behaved. Yes. No, I always see him as a kid, so it's kind of hard to do that. But yes, he had a great experience, and of course he was joking around with the older guys about being too old on the way there, because we were talking about, of course, we were talking about the podcast. We were trying to talk about different things, and he brought up that we were old. Of course we are.
What was the comment that he made though? It was very specific.
I can't remember. I'm sure
you were supposed to put that in your notes.
Dangerous. Yeah. When I was driving, for God's
that's right.
sake.
You were. Or the part where I was like,
struggling.
hey, remember what Chase said here? It'd be funny if we talked about it on the podcast next week.
Yeah,
good one, Dave. Good one, Dave.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. So,
great story.
So, perfect. Yes. So there we go. There was that.
Okay. On the way to the game.
Yeah. And then we had to fight our way out because
Chase got lost in the crowd.
Yeah. Well, there was that one. And then we finally get back to the car and we're headed out, and then all the roads were closed. So barriers here, barriers there. And there technically was only one way out that would have been best, but we didn't get that from Google Maps because they had us going through areas where everything was closed.
Because they didn't know yet that the
closures were
in effect.
Right, because they weren't really in place yet. Concrete. They were still loading them up. And there was like 8 or 10 trucks of barrier holders coming in while we were going out.
Yeah, there's like a cop.
So they weren't done. They weren't done. They were closing more. So then all we were seeing was that Saturday. We just may not get down here.
We were dreading going the Saturday night game because it's like, wow, now 2 days before the inauguration, driving through DC, they have all these road closures. How's it going to be?
Right.
And we actually got there faster than we normally do
because Google Maps had updated, but we came in the back way.
Yes.
And we're not going to tell that because that's a secret now. We're not going to divulge our secret.
We're not telling everybody where our parking garage is.
No.
Absolutely
not. That was perfect. We walked 2 blocks, I think, and we were right there.
And we're there.
It was considerably less expensive, right?
It was a lot less expensive than parking anywhere like closer. It was just
we were right up front. Like I put us between 2 posts, but we were right there on the first level as soon as we drove in. And
there was a spot available.
I mean, and we walked right up. We were inside at 6:05 or 6:10. I mean, we were way up there too.
Yeah.
Not normally
we were up in the 400s, and we go up to
Vertigo City. You said you looked up at one of the LED lights, and
they have these LED lights right above your head.
Yeah, with a banner
that go around the entire arena. So it's a banner, that says Washington Capitol, and it flies around and all that stuff like that. But I look up to look at the individual LEDs. And then when I look back forward, I just felt like, the vertigo.
You were falling forward.
Whoa, a second. Just for a split second. It's just like that. Your head, you have to realign, and it's just like, you're like hanging over an open pit, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I was worried I was going to fall off the edge when I went down to go get a refill, because I ran down and I was down the stairs, and as soon as I got down near the bottom, I was like, "Is my momentum going too fast? I'm gonna fall over?
Can I stop?
I'm going. No brakes." And you get that,
Don't let on my lever.
Yes, and end up on someone's lap. In the 200s
with broken legs.
Right, exactly. All
that happened once.
Yeah, explain that.
Yeah, when that arena first opened, now almost 20 years ago, it was MCI Arena before it got renamed Capital One, and there was a fan that fell from the 200 level down to the 100 level.
Oh, my goodness.
And his only injuries was he broke both of his legs.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He survived.
Luckily.
Just broke both of his legs.
Jesus.
And he was drunk and had fallen from,
of course
But we were up in the 400s, even higher than that.
Yeah, we were above that. So coming over the edge would have been a lot harder. I don't think I would have made it.
Yeah, gravitational pull impact. I don't think you would have made it.
No.
And
I don't think we would have got our refills.
It would definitely have turned into Pern. Let's talk. Because
Dave's
dead.
Right, yeah. Dave's collapsed.
I don't know. I think London's got the bug. My son wants to sneak into your spot, I think.
Well, I kidding. I got to fight him off. Is that it? Is that how it's going to be?
That'll be next week when we do the root beer taste test. I've been stocking up for the root beer taste test number 2. I just have one more flavor I got to get, and then we'll be ready. So hopefully next week.
Now it's going to be a trio. Is that what we're going for?
London's getting the itch.
Or only 2? You keep it a duo, or you were going trio?
No, we're staying in a duo. It's fine. Okay. Calm down. Oh my God, I've known you longer than dirt. Jesus Christ.
And then we didn't get to do this on Tuesday because the game was late. Or it was the middle of the week. So, of course, everything we wanted to do was
close earlier.
Right. But we,
middle of the week.
Of course, booked out early because they were up by 2.
Yeah. As soon as they scored the third goal, they went 3-1. We're like, we're out. And honestly, it was a minute and a half left in the game.
It was exactly. We hit the bathroom. We were out the door.
Everybody
was coming out. Yeah. And everyone was coming out. And it didn't seem to matter because we were 2 blocks away. We got in the car. We were booked out of there. We were out.
We had that one guy in the parking garage.
There was
a guy. He parked against a flat wall, so when he backed back out of it, he didn't know when to cut his wheels to turn away, and he backed into the corner section that goes the up ramp to out, and he's literally blocking it and starts going back and forth. It was almost the Austin Powers, like in the little cart.
He was just going back and forth, and we were like, "You just got to turn it and get out and just drive around because
he could not.
There is no way you're going to make that."
We sat there for 5 minutes, and then now there was nobody behind us when we pulled out. We were like, the second car away.
We were so close to get out of there.
This guy decides, I'm going to back out now, not know how to back out of a spot.
And of course, I was being nice.
Oh, Dave is the
I could have bowled through because he was going really slow, and I could have just bowled right through the opening.
Dave is the nicest driver I think I've ever seen on the road.
It's such a lie. But for this case, it was. I was not driving my car, so it's a little different.
It's whatever.
Yeah, we were driving the Icebox, and
no. Oh no, for that game,
for that one.
Oh yeah.
For the second one,
yes,
we were.
Correct.
And so, you had a portable heater in the car,
which was not really working.
It wasn't working too well, but I was still okay. But he finally gets turned around and heads back towards us, and we're like, "We're out of here!" And we were gone. And then, of course, we were hitting Krispy Kreme early.
12 minutes later.
Yep, we were at Krispy Kreme, and we had loaded up on Krispy Kremes.
I got yelled at for that.
You did?
Yeah, because
my
wife, she goes, it was too many. And I said, but the glazed were only $1. That was the deal. If you buy an assorted thing,
at least you
get
come
a
home
glazed.
with 4. I took one of those.
Dave did take one of those.
So off your hands. I was helping you.
All right. I got in trouble for buying too many Krispy Kremes.
I'm so sorry. That is crazy. Next time I gotta keep you in order.
I have a 2 dozen limit.
You do?
I can't go over 2 dozen.
That's probably a good call.
Okay.
Anyway, so then, and I was told not to bring any. So when Lisa found them in the fridge, I got in trouble. So then
we paid the price, right?
So then, of course, from there, it's a struggle to get out. But then it wasn't a struggle because we were like, I don't know what happened, but our little back way, we were out in
super quick.
10?
It was straight down 19th Street to the East Street Expressway. And then...
Quit telling our secret.
Sorry.
Yeah, damn it.
Because
it's out. No, again, it was the back way, especially there because they hadn't closed anything that direction.
I thought you were joking for real. I was like, what are you doing?
I was trying to mask our secret. You're not supposed to give away our secrets. Anyway, yeah. So it was the back way out East Street, the Parkway. And we got out and we were on our way to Mario's to grab subs, which I'm sure we weren't supposed to be doing either. And we got there with no time and no one was there. Like it was empty for a Saturday.
And they're open till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
We walk in the door at like 9:40.
Yeah. The game had just ended and we were there and they were asking us if the game ended. And we were
no. It was just after 10 and it was right after 10. It was like 10:10 or 10:20 because then I said to the guys that it ended at 9:40. So
because we hit the Krispy Kreme.
So the employee asks us.
Yeah.
He's like, excuse me, sir. Is the game still going on? I'm like, the hockey game? I said, no, that ended, whatever, like, 30, 40 minutes ago. And he's like, oh, okay. And then we're like, well, the Commanders game's on right now. They're playing Detroit in the NFC playoff game.
Right.
And he just looked at me like, I don't know what you just said.
And the weird thing is on TV, they were playing a replay of week 10.
Of an NFL football game that was the Rams and someone else.
Yeah, it was the Eagles and the Rams. And I was like, that is like not a game.
How do they not know that the Washington Commanders
Why aren't you got the game on? The game should be on. It's right there.
You know, the best time to go to Mars would probably be Super Bowl Sunday because they'll have no clue.
Oh gosh, they won't even.
Like, why isn't anybody coming in?
Yeah, we have this freezing cold February special.
It hit 5 o'clock, and
then
we haven't seen anybody.
Special, no one's here. Yes, right. Exactly.
I don't know. It seemed like not the brightest, but whatever. Their subs are fucking amazing.
Hey, it was really good. It was really good. So yeah, and then we were back on the road again, and everything was closed down going into town, which we thought was a little weird because we were worried about getting back onto 66 and just getting out so of freaking town.
And we got out quick, and then it was like seeing that they had all the traffic going in on 66 blocked,
completely blocked, so nothing was going, and that was a little weird. So yeah, that was an adventure in itself. And then we finally got home.
And it was, I actually kind of got sort of home early on Saturday night for once. I mean, it was like maybe 12. Did I stop and get gas? I don't remember. Anyway, I think it was like 12:30-ish. I think which for me, getting home from a game from DC is early.
I think you had an age moment where you had to run to the bathroom. You had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, the bathroom.
That was
break.
the bathroom trip, right? Gosh. Yeah, I told you could have gone at the house, but you said, "No, I can make it."
No,
we're not gonna. You're gonna cut that.
We're not going there. So the NFL. So the football.
The football is now again. We were gonna talk about the I guess it was the wild card games, but those are already done, and now we're at the divisional games.
And divisional games have now happened and went.
Right, it's the Chiefs and Bills.
Chiefs and Bills in the AFC Championship.
Right, and the Commanders-Eagles.
The NFC
Which
East.
should be interesting because they've seen each other so much.
Well, they play each other twice in the regular season, right, and then, every year.
Yeah, so they know each other, so this should be a good game. And the Chiefs and Bills, I mean... They're
in
enemies,
Kansas City,
right?
Yeah, that's like the past couple of years. That's just been the best in the AFC, and the Chiefs always win.
I loved all the videos you were showing me of the Mafia, the Bills Mafia.
Oh my gosh! So there's the guy.
Freezing,
what was that guy's name? Pedro Don or something?
The mustard guy.
Yeah, the mustard guy.
I don't like.
There's a guy that's.
Was there a history behind that as to why they were spraying him with crap?
He has like a whole little backstory thing to it, which I haven't watched the video. It's like a 15-minute. Somebody shot this whole little
documentary.
Yeah, like a mini documentary on this guy, on this whole thing. This guy has been a Bills fan for life, and he goes and tailgates at the stadium outside of where the Bills play. I don't even remember what stadium it is, which I should know that. I should know that. I don't. But yeah, I don't. Anyway,
so it's not cool.
He has people spray him with mustard and ketchup bottles. Yeah, and that's his ritual for the pregame.
They were taking selfies with him covered.
He has this whole spiel where he comes over. He goes, hey, anybody? I just got a hamburger off the grill, but I don't have any ketchup or mustard. Does anybody have any ketchup or mustard? And then
what about the ketchup? Is what I saw was his little comment. Or something.
What about the ketchup?
And they shoot him with it. And they had
is that what
guns, and they had
now it's like they have caulk guns filled with these caulk tubes full of mayo, or not mayo, but it's ketchup and mustard. And he is completely drenched. It is disgusting.
Oh my God. I could not. And again, they had it in the one you showed me or sent to me. They showed them on the news, and they had the news channel guy right there, and they showed his little ritual of what he does afterwards, and he does clean up, meaning he takes off his clothes, washes it out of his hair.
He has a buddy who has like this big gallon jug of water, and they washes his hair out right there in the parking lot of the stadium.
So he's sopping wet in freezing ass cold temperatures. But then he goes, I guess he goes to the game. I don't know.
I guess so. I guess he's a season ticket. I don't know.
If he's
maybe he just likes the tailgating part.
It could be. They do that. Like that's all they do. They just go to the parking lot and tailgate without actually going into the game because
they just love the party.
But
and they love the party, and they can hear it because every play gets announced out over
they'll watch it, right? You can watch
5-yard run
anymore.
by running back.
True, right?
They can hear the game.
It'll be time delayed on TV though.
Yeah, maybe just a little.
A little.
Just a little.
But still, I mean, good Lord. And I couldn't think that I would have to smell like ketchup and mustard. You'd still smell like it, right?
If he does that every week.
You're not soaping up, right? You're just kind of
rinsing off, and you're not taking a shower till you get home later. Finally,
you're finding
a good
ketchup
shower.
And mustard everywhere. I mean, I'm sorry.
You're probably just smelling that
the crap out
nonstop.
of him.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
really.
was.
Does he change his pants too?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Why are you so worried about guys in
I'm
their
just
lower
saying,
regions?
if he's gonna be out in the freezing
Worried
cold,
about his
that is
pants
gonna
and seeing
crust
mine in
up.
the-
I'm just,
Oh my God,
I was
Dave.
just a question. I was just asking.
I think we need to have a talk after this.
You think? Tendencies.
Let's talk
no,
about
I'm just
it.
saying. It's
Let's
just. It was just something that I was thinking about. It's kind of ketchup and mustard everywhere. And again, eyes. He wasn't wearing protective eye gear, so
I think he just closed his eyes and then, had his eyes closed and they were spraying him.
yeah.
And it's just,
How does he breathe? Because he was covered. I mean, he
We
was
should look
literally
up-
covered in a shell of mustard and ketchup.
and ketchup. Yeah. And we should look up for next week. I'm going to give you homework.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The weirdest tailgating tradition, things like that at NFL football games.
Oh my God. I will look it up and get them for
look into
every
some
team.
European
How about
soccer?
every team?
Yes, if you can find them for every team, like what there's that one guy like the mustard ketchup guy there in Buffalo. Is there one of those in for every team?
I would
and we don't have to
say-
go through talking about every single one, but like hit on the key ones that are like, oh, that's crazy.
The
Or
craziest ones.
Yeah,
Right.
That's crazier than getting squirted head to toe with mustard and ketchup.
Well, I don't know if you're going to find crazier, but you might
Crazier
find
than
close. Like, I don't think you're going to find
That's almost like
crazier, but close.
Water torture or something. It's like
I
ketchup
would
mustard
say
torture. Like,
he
why would
sets himself up for it. It's not like they pick
I
someone
know,
randomly
he
in
does
the
this for
crowd and
fun.
start shooting the crap
Why
out of
does
him.
he choose to do that for fun?
Agreed.
Does
he have a
maybe
ketchup
he
mustard
needs to
fetish or
have a
something?
discussion
I'm
with
thinking he needs to sit
psychologist
down for a
or
little
someone to talk to
therapy.
somebody that he enjoys.
Speaking of therapy, or not thinking about
Oh, we're speaking of therapy now.
Not
Okay,
even
cool.
therapy, but
Okay, speaking of therapy.
I listened to your podcast buddies, the Smartless guys.
Oh yeah.
And they are very good. They are very good at this.
Oh,
to be
absolutely.
honest, right?
Well, they've been doing it for like almost 5 years now.
They've been buddies forever too,
For like,
right?
yeah.
But they definitely had it where they were ragging on everyone. It was rotational.
Oh, it
but
goes
they
around.
Definitely
It
did
definitely goes around.
pick
Yeah.
and choose their topics. But yes, and when I first listened to it, I thought that they when I listened to it, the only one doing tags or sponsors was Sean. And I thought,
he
they
comes
make
with
Sean
a
do
lot
it
of
all the
them,
time. But no, actually they do other, I listened, I heard Jason doing some, and then Will doing another.
Airbnb or something.
Right.
Or,
But
their little ad
but the one that I listened to, the whole episode,
Pern
it
and
was
Dave Let's
just
Talk
Sean.
comes to you ad free.
Yes.
What was that
ad-free,
about,
exactly.
Sean?
And again, I was thinking, oh my God, they make him do that because maybe he got the short end of the stick and he does all of it. But then I listened to another episode and they kind of rotated around.
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny. I was like, wait, God damn it, they make Sean do that. I thought they were torturing him by making him do all the sponsors because, hey, it was your job to do all the sponsors.
Yeah. Well, if you go back and listen far enough back, you'll hear the one where he wins the award for best host of a podcast.
Oh.
Because he was nominated.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Jason and Will weren't.
Oh, but just
Sean was.
That's awesome.
And like they give him so much shit for so many episodes up until that awards presentation for
that it was
best
coming.
podcast host.
Nice.
I'm like, hey, we're a team.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, but they did a good job, and I'm listening to other ones now to get that kind of
other episodes or other podcasts,
other episodes and other podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, took 2 seasons to get Dave to actually go listen to what he should be sounding like.
Thank you, Dave. I have listened to other podcasts.
The devotion right there.
I want podcast sponsor or podcast of the year.
Host of the year.
There you go.
I
want it next.
Yep.
No, I'm just saying
I'll put you up for it.
I have listened to other podcasts and I have listened to broadcasts of, I guess, this just on radio. I mean, TV's easy because then they just regurgitate it back onto a podcast and play it again.
Yeah.
So they're already doing it in front of a camera. So you kind of lose that non-visual, right? Because they're showing maps and pictures of things and talking about them. Well, okay, you don't have that in this type of scenario.
Oh yeah,
you could be playing it alongside,
the
but
for
then,
you.
Yeah, it's like we're verbal painters, verbal artists here. No, I'm just saying that it's a different concept, and some of them do it a lot better than I've heard before. So yeah. So and it's interesting.
It is.
Although there are some that are kind of hard to listen to. I listened to one.
A ton of stuff.
I won't bring it up, but it was hard to listen to
throwing...
because it kind of went a little too into the weeds, I guess. of something, and I was like, I'm lost. I have no clue.
Me too right now. So moving on. Okay,
Sorry,
Dave's
I just
listening
wanted
to
to bring
podcasts.
it up. Here we go. That was my knowledge of what's happening.
I gotcha.
Yes, we're always expanding our knowledge. So because you also sent me the videos too of
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so next week we have again the root beer taste test part 2 coming up.
Yay.
That's awesome. We're looking forward to that. And also, finally, it was delayed because of the fires. And yes, I understand that and I respect that. Finally, the Oscar nominations are coming out.
Yeah, we were so close. If we had waited 2 days, I think it's this Thursday. Right?
It is this Thursday.
Yes.
The nominations coming out. So on the next week.
It's exciting.
Yes. And I'm not going to look at it when it comes out. Dave's going to come. I'm going to wait till Dave comes in.
A whole nother week.
I will
That's
do
tough.
what I can do for you till Dave comes in and can go down the list and go like, this is who nominated, and I'll be surprised.
Should we just record on Friday?
No. Oh my gosh.
It's right there. You're going to be able to wait a whole week.
I don't know.
It's going to be a week.
That is going to be rough for
Thursday,
me.
all the way through Thursday, and not hear or see anything.
I will not intentionally go look, but if something pops up that says, "Oh, so and so got director or best director," then I'll find out.
Right.
But again, I'll hold out as long as I can on that.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be tough.
All right. So I'll see you next week.
Yes, definitely.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Pern and Dave, Let's Talk is brought to you by, well, Pern and Dave. And
U-Haul.
No experience driving a truck?
Who cares? Here are the keys.
And the good people at D's Nuts.
Our nuts to your mouth.
Till next time.